It's been an interesting journey with Best Practice. Where it's at today is the ultimate result of how we operate, and we do work pretty hard. So yeah, you know, yesterday, for example, was a 17-hour day. We started at 5 a.m, or in fact 4:30 a.m, and we finished at 9:30 last night. And you know, it's not about just sort of preaching that you've got to work really, really long hours. You've got to work smart, but we do work hard. So we big road trip yesterday to go see some clients down in Canberra. So we just jumped in the car early, shot down there, tried to use the time in the car to do some work, and then obviously getting out and about and seeing people in Canberra. That's not anything new. That's just how the business has operated. It's just how we operate. We just try and blend in what we've got to do, whether we're actually physically doing an audit or whether we're going to see them. That's just it's become part of our business model. So what's become a challenge now is that getting out to see that many people. We've got so many clients now, and there's so many people ringing me every day, and so many people trying to catch up with me every day, that it's become increasingly hard. And so now we're doing the webinars, so I get to meet people virtually and online by presenting the webinars. And we're trying to lift the quality of those webinars, and it means that we can talk to hundreds of people a month, more than say 20 people a month. So if you've got a long journey, it's one effective or two effective meetings per day. You can still really only do about 40 meetings a month. But then when we get 100 or 200 or 600 people to a webinar, it's really, really scalable. And so the mode that we're in here at Best Practice is really scaling. So it's really saying, how can we multiply the number of people that we're helping, sharing our knowledge, inspiring, motivating, and really that sort of, when you look at these logos here behind us, that's, it's a graph. We said, well, it's all about performance over time, and a lot of what I'm really motivated, inspired by is to get that insight into what's happening and get that really clear picture of what's happening. If you're thinking about starting a business or you're thinking about running a business, getting to understand this standard is really important, because at the end of the day, it's the international framework for writing a business plan, and it's the international framework for running a business, and it's the international framework for improving a business. ISO 9001, as much as it cops a bagging, it stood the test of time, and people, despite the fact that a lot of people don't like it and it cops a blame, it's still growing out there in the industry, and people still using it, people still adopting it, because it's a logical, common sense way to manage, run a business and build a business plan. So it's definitely worth having a look at it. So whether you want to look at certification or not, I don't want to be the one to force you into it. I guess that sort of summarises the history around Best Practice and what we're trying to achieve, and keep it really, really simple. And I'm really excited. We're at a new point in the journey of Best Practice where we're launching Next Practice, and that's around the coaching and mentoring piece of individuals and leaders and managers who are executing. So it's one thing to have the business plan and have all this stuff documented, and I've seen so much documented over the years, but the fundamental weakness, the one fundamental weakness that I see time and time again in every single company is execution, not executing on what's written down. And if you go back to the Talking Business episode with Andrew Barrett that's on our YouTube channel and have a look, he talks about the words to the effect of, business as it is or business as imagined. And I see a lot of documents that record business as imagined or business as desired, not business as is. And so, people spend so much time writing all this stuff down, creating lots of policies and procedures, but not actually executing. And so that this launch of Next Practice is really around helping people and empowering people and educating people on the skills and qualifications and experience that they need to actually execute on the business as imagined, which is the desired direction, goals, tasks, processes that people want to implement. There's a couple more of these programs being added. For those of you that have been sort of following us here at Best Practice, I just want to give you the tip that ISO 27001, which is the data security. So here at Best Practice, all of our systems are cloud-based, 100% cloud-based. I can access every single system and all of my stuff from my iPhone. I don't really rely too much anymore on a laptop. I manage the business pretty much from my iPhone, and all of the systems have apps. And so the security of that information is really critical for myself. Like, I'm worried about the security of our information. And so you can now look to ISO 27001. So if there's something you want us to try and test, hit me up, send me a message, and I'll have a look at it. And if we can implement and execute and I can give you some exposure, then great. I'll see you soon next time on Best Practice TV. Bye for now.